Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today we are going to be talking about all-time wrestling, the board game. And as you can see, I am a huge wrestling fan, so this is really exciting. So let's get started. So in this video, we are going to go through the components of this game, the different ways to play the game, and we will discuss why I think you might like this game, or why you might not. As you can see, I collect all sorts of pro wrestling things, whether it's figures. I've kind of gotten away from that, but I have the RPG Worldwide Wrestling. I collect cards. So if you do any of these, let us know in the comments below. And even better, if you do have some of the cards, let me know who you think I should get these cards graded through, SGC, PSA, or anything like that. So there's been a lot of people out there who have already done reviews over the specific rules and kind of highlighted how to play this game. I'm not going to do that because there are a few different key ways to play the game. Whether you want to do a campaign mode, whether you want to do tag team matches with 4 of your friends, maybe you want to do a cage match one-on-one with someone, or you just want to play the regular standard 1 versus 1 mode. I personally am going to be investing a lot of time over the coming months into playing the campaign mode. There's a whole series of cards that kind of run you through the different segments, whether it's interviews or backstage assaults and things like that. And so that mode appeals to me the most. There's a lot of different characters you can play in this game. Some of them are real wrestlers, such as Macho Man Randy Savage, Andre the Giant, the British Bulldog, and then there's a few that are not licensed wrestlers. They are kind of off-brand knockoffs of other wrestlers, and you can definitely tell their likenesses are very similar to some real-world wrestlers. The game comes with a variety of components. You got character cards that have different abilities for the character you've chosen. You've got 2d6 that are used to resolve things like pinfalls and things like that. You've got a health meter with different blocks that calculate their health, and you move it up and down. Momentum meter. Each character comes with a group of cards for their move set. You're going to have a finisher, a signature, and then about, I think, 13 other moves. I think each guy comes with 15 moves in total, plus 4 abilities. There are expansions you can get for this, whether you want to play as Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder in the WWE. You can play as RVD, Sabu, and a few others. There's a Kickstarter coming out later this month. The Kickstarter for this is currently live as of this recording. The link will be in the description below. That is definitely something you should check out. I will post a link to that down in the description below. The current expansions that come with the all-time wrestling second edition here would be the Legends, Double Trouble, and All or Nothing. Who would win if a madman brought together the best wrestlers from the past, present, and future to answer once and for all the most debated question in pro wrestling history? Who is the greatest of all time? All-Time Wrestling is a card and dice game that brings the fast-paced action and excitement of professional wrestling to your tabletop. With standard and advanced modes of play, All-Time Wrestling is accessible to gamers and non-gamers alike, using intuitive mechanics that are reminiscent of your favorite wrestling games. Choose your champion from the legends of the past, present, and future, each with their own deck of attacks, abilities, signature moves, and finishers. Play your cards to unleash devastating combos, power bombs, and pile drivers, aerial stunts, and deadly submissions. But will the dice be in your favor? This is All-Time Wrestling. This is where legends collide. This is where your destiny awaits. You can see, looking at some of this, that there is a lot to this game. There's a lot of different ways to play it. The way you play the game, each character is different. Each has their strengths and weaknesses based on their moves and how they're going to work with that. But even their abilities, like Macho Man has a valet or a manager ability that helps him, and, you know, all of that. So my personal favorite characters in this, it's pretty easy to say Macho Man Randy Savage is high up there for me. Andre the Giant, which when I was getting my kids into wrestling, my 9-year-old, the first wrestler they absolutely loved was Andre the Giant. So that's pretty cool to have him in the game. I think Jax Felix is probably my absolute favorite character in this game. He's a lot like a real life wrestler that I'm a big fan of. So I think that's why I'm drawn to him. As you can see here, here's some fantastic art of the wrestlers that are in the game. You've got British Bulldog, you've got Kurt Angle, you've got Andre, and Macho Man, and then you've got the created guys. It says 20 to 40 minutes. I have seen matches that are no longer than 10 minutes. So once you get the hang of the game, you can actually have matches pretty quickly with people. And again, you can play it by yourself or up to 4 players. It's recommended for 11 and up. I think that's a good recommendation. You might be able to play it with people who are a little younger, but I wouldn't go much younger than that if you did decide to. Now, when you open the box, you get your what's in this box, and it goes through everything. We're not going to go into all of this, but you've got that. 2 sides, some notes, how do you win. Good little notes here for you to play the game. Oh, and make sure you join the All-Time Wrestling Universe. Oh, scan this code. All right, you got the rule book. So interesting. Someone hitting a flying knee. Talks about the components, the concepts, different ways to play, the anatomy of the card, the health, stamina, and then the deck size. So again, the guys have about 15, 16 moves that they can use. One I forgot to mention earlier is obviously Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle has always been one of my favorite wrestlers. One of my buddies that I used to go to his house and watch all the wrestling pay-per-views. He was a huge Kurt Angle fan. He just passed away this past year. So this video I want to dedicate to him. We used to play WWF No Mercy. In fact, I have the game over there with his original created wrestlers. But yes, how to pin and win in the game. Rule book. Solo 1v1 match. I personally like the artwork. I think the artwork fits. I think it gives off a fun vibe. And that's what you want out of these kinds of games. There you go. All-Time Wrestling Extreme Edition. Pick it up today. There's also the Double Trouble rule book here. This is for last man standing and tag matches. Not going to go through that one. But there is that. And then I got everything laid out here. So this is to track health and stamina. You got the momentum meter up here. This is for cage attacks. So that's kind of cool. This is for your campaign mode, playing by yourself. Speaking of which, these are your campaign cards, so you can play through the story mode. These are your move cards up here for the different wrestlers. They each have 15 moves. These are the dice you're going to use. These are for tracking stamina, health, and momentum. Down here, these are for NPCs. So if you're playing by yourself, you use those for that. Automa cards. These are so you can determine if the computer or the, when you're playing by yourself, your opponent, what they roll on the dice, whether it's a kick out or damage. They got weapon cards here, so there's different ones in here. Nanobots. There's like chairs and trash cans and other stuff like that. You got face and heel cards for the story mode, ally and valet cards, different injury cards. Here's the character cards I was talking about over here. So here's the Macho Man Randy Savage one. Again, valet distraction. Now, every character card on the back has their story, which is kind of cool. But yeah, when you play, you do this. You take the NPC cards over here. So this isn't for him, but if it was, you'd bring this over here. You'd replace that spot with the infinity symbol with the NPC card. So then you'd get this different ability here instead. That's only for when you're playing by yourself. Otherwise, you use what's on the cards. Now, there's Jax Felix. I told you he definitely looks interesting, huh? Especially if you like global wrestling over the last 10 years. But that's actually my favorite non-licensed wrestler in this game. But yeah, you got, like I said, Macho Man is a cool one. You've got Andre the Giant. And their stats are completely different. So look at Andre's stats compared to Macho Man's. You see, I would argue here that Andre is better. His recover is much better. So there's that. Andre compared to Kurt Angle. You'll see here that once again, Andre is better than Kurt. British Bulldog. Pretty much the same here, right? So Andre is by far and away the best out of all of them. So that is All Time Wrestling. They currently have a Kickstarter up for the Rumble in Abu Dhabi, so go back that now. The link will be in the description below. In that edition, you get other wrestlers, you get other modes of play. So again, if you like the sound of this game, go out, back that Kickstarter, and get 2nd edition, but also get the Extreme version. With that, guys, thank you for watching. We will see you guys next time. Game on.